Hello again, YouTube. As you can see, I'm back in my chair, and usually that means a long conversation, but I'm going to try and keep this short. So, today's inspiration of video was reading an NPR article about how a man in the 50s went to a whole bunch of different neighborhoods and just collected a bunch of information on musicians and then ended up helping compile a basically lost record of hundreds of blues musicians who had never really gotten big, never really recorded, or just stayed very local and never got to get national radio play. And it was just recently released through the Smithsonian. So there's this huge collection. I'm going to try and do my best to kind of check it out. But even though I am a huge blues fan, and in fact, most of my early work is blues music, I am not necessarily driven to go out of my way to find it. If I can, then I'd like to honor some of these musicians who, you know, didn't have a chance, basically. And it kind of got me thinking about some things, right? Like I kind of said in a video before, I'm not really doing too good mentally. And to be 100% honest, music did not heal me in the way that I thought it would from the times that it has done before. Music has always been kind of the thing that I turned to once I was kind of a competent musician and songwriting and doing all these things. But as I'm getting older now, it seems more like it's holding me back, preventing me from kind of moving on and basically accepting that A, my music career, died a long time ago and wasn't going to go anywhere anyway, and B, that in order to grow and get better as a person, we kind of need to break old habits. And I know you're probably racking your brain a little bit, be like, why would you feel that music is one of those things? And it's just every day I wake up and I'm just bitter. I'm in a lot of pain, physically and mentally. And I go to school and I teach these kids a couple days a week, and it originally was very rejuvenating. And it has not in any way, shape, or form made me bitter seeing these young, talented musicians start getting successful or just, thoroughly enjoy music. In fact, it's very inspiring and was helping me heal for a little bit. But now I don't get the same feel that I used to, and I'm not really sure what's been causing that. But to kind of end all the somber stuff, when I was reading this article about these blues musicians who virtually never had a chance, whether it was the music industry, whether, let's cut through the BS real quick. If we're talking about blues, we're talking about black people. And we all know how things were back in that time period. I don't need to elaborate further thanks to YouTube guidelines. But that genre of music really inspired a lot of American music from its inception. And you can literally just turn on a radio today and you can hear multiple different genres of music that all flourished from it. So I know it has been culturally appropriated by people with fairer skin like myself, but it's something that just spoke to me. My father was a blues musician. My uncle for a time was a blues musician. A lot of my early influences were blues, and I'm gonna 100% just say like it's a feeling, a soul, a power that no other genre can replicate. So, with all that being said and all that inspiration flying through my head, I decided that, we live in the 21st century, right? 2023. What am I doing right now? I'm holding a phone and I'm recording my thoughts and I'm sharing them to the world. Whether 1,000 people look at it or two people look at it, it doesn't matter. I have wanted to leave a record, some sort of legacy for as long as I can remember. I don't know if it stems from a fear of death or, not being able to cope with just being normal. I always had this sense of greatness that I had to do something, whatever it is. I have the means, and a lot of musicians have those means today. And I think the pandemic really proved to a lot of people that it doesn't matter what your hobby, what your dream, what your passion is, you have the time. It's just, will you take that time to do it? So I'm going to make a vow with everybody here on YouTube, all the subscribers, all the casuals who ended up just kind of watching, whether it's my shorts or my long forms. I am going to record all of my music. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I've been slowly dragging my feet. And if I reach a certain amount of subscribers, I'm not going to give an arbitrary number just when it feels right. I'll explain the reason why I'm doing it and why I've held off on doing it. It is a very personal thing. So there needs to be motivation to get that out there. And if there's enough people who are interested, then I will do it. Until then, what my original plan was to record all of my music using my audio engineering skills and my musicianship, because I play multiple instruments, and kind of just release things on my own personal website. Well, that task has been proving very daunting and not enjoyable. So, what I've decided I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do a 2 to 3 prong approach. The very first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be recording on video on my phone with just me playing acoustic for the majority of my songs, all of them. It's going to be songs that aren't finished. It's going to be songs that are works in progress. It's going to be songs that have been done for 10 plus years. But I'm going to record everything, and I'm probably going to start chronologically. I may break from time to time just to, either show through my other series, The Songwriter's Story, um, different ways to go about songwriting and how it progressed and things like that. And I might also just be really inspired and just be like, hey, you know what? I want to fucking do this song because it's been on my mind for a while. I'm actually in the process of moving right now, so I would love to have started this right now. And I promise you, it's not an excuse. But I only have one of my electric guitars, and I'm not gonna have the phone just right up against the electric guitar, and you don't have a good angle, and you're not gonna hear me well. So we're not gonna start it today. But I'm making this vow with you all. That's the first part. I'm gonna record every song. How I'm going to do it is I'm going to spend the first part of the video basically performing the song, and then I will do I guess it'll probably all be in one video. I will do an analysis on what the inspiration was, how I wrote it, if I can remember it for some of these older songs, what was going on around that time period that I'd written that song, and how it went over with performance. And potentially, when we get to my album side of things, how it helped me, and how it shaped, our musical career with my band and solo. So that's one approach. Two, I have decided, since I'm going to be playing all these songs and I'm going to be doing videos on all of these songs, it may benefit some people to see the creative process as it's happening. So I think I'm going to start a live stream persona, probably in the same name that I have here. I don't know what platform I'm going to use. Maybe it'll be Twitch, maybe it'll be Kick, maybe it'll just be something else. I'm not sure what, but I think recording the song in a professional way, editing the song and talking about the song in front of a live audience, I think there may be a demand for that. I think there may be a niche in a market. So if there are people out there who are up and coming audio engineers or musicians and just kind of want to see how someone does it, I would love to do that. That is going to be part of, but it's not going to be a sole focus. So if that blows up, I don't know what will happen with that, but I will continue it, obviously, because we all have the dream of not ever fucking working and just making money doing fun stuff. Um, the third prong I'm going to kind of keep in reserve for now, but I have other plans basically to all A, keep me in check, and B, kind of just get this out there. So the vow is going to be starting next week. So 1 week from this time period, probably, I'm going to start up everything. So I'll be moved, or at the very least closer to moved, and I'll have access to at least one of my acoustic guitars, and we'll kind of start the whole process. And I gotta say, it's really because I'm inspired by the fact that these blues musicians 70 plus years ago basically never had a chance one way or the other, but someone did take a chance and decided, whether it was through their own personal love of blues music, whether it was, to defy Jim Crow laws of the era, whatever possible reasoning there was, someone just decided this music needs to be heard and had the balls to do it. And I'm going to try and follow in that person's footsteps because I really think that some of my music is good. All right, real talk. I've performed before and I've had people walk up to me and say I've changed their lives. And it's not an egotistical thing, it's not a BS thing. When you have someone with tears in their eyes tell you that that song just hit them so deep and helped them get through some troubles, that shit stays with you. Like, I would love to just do that for the rest of my life. It's a hard road, and even great musicians struggle with doing that. And I'm very far from being on that caliber. But it's those experiences coupled with what I'd seen about this person going out, recording these artists, and giving them a possible chance. And maybe it's not even a success story, how we view things with selling platinum level albums, making millions. Maybe just having the music there and having something you could hang your hat on at the end of the day. And, the end of the day, um, maybe that's enough. So let's see how long this goes. Let's see if I can hold myself accountable. Let's see if we can gain some traction. Maybe get a couple of people to subscribe from time to time and just see new stuff. And we're going to keep it stripped down because that's the best way that I'm going to continue doing it. Just grab an acoustic guitar, do the song, see, hopefully knock it out in a take or two so that way I can just focus on explaining the song after. I'm not really going to keep a time limit on them. Some of the songs I can go on for days just because of how I wrote them or because of how well they were when I was performing them. Some songs I might not have much to say at all because it's just like, hey, it's pretty cut and dry, this situation, and boom, we'll see how it all goes. But yeah, expect things to be chronologically. It's going to be very stripped down with just acoustic guitar and me singing. The production may get better over time. I am a videographer part-time, not so much anymore. And it just kind of comes down to, do I have access to the cameras to do it? If I do, awesome. If not, I'll stick with the phone thing. Until I get like a couple hundred, if not even 1,000 fucking subscribers, I'm not really worried about the high-end production. But who knows? That's the whole point, to gain some traction. I just want someone to hear this. And that's it. There's no subscriber count. There's no monetary value. I just want people to hear it. So join me on this. Hopefully it'll be a fun time. And I'm going to try and continue everything else kind of on the side. But this is going to be the primary goal for this channel until all of my music has been played. And then we'll go from there. That should probably be about a year's worth of stuff. If we do once a week. So I have about 60-something songs. So just over a year. All right. Next week, we'll start up the process. It's going to be a fun time. Take care, everybody.